Hey, what's going on everyone? Bo HD here. I hope you guys are doing well. Now, the official announcement of the 2015 Nexus 5 is imminent. On September 29th in San Francisco, Google will officially announce and share details of the upcoming LG Nexus 5 and Huawei Nexus device that are both very much in the works and have both been leaking for the past several months. So in this video, I'm going to recap about 15 leaked features of the LG Nexus 5 that we can expect to see made official on September 29th. All right, so the LG Nexus 5 2015 is actually rumored to be called the LG Nexus 5X, and it will start at around $400 off contract. The Nexus 5X will be available in white, black, and light blue, and it will feature a USB Type-C port and will feature a plastic build construction, which I hate saying. The base model will feature 16 gigabytes of onboard storage, but it can be upgraded to 32 gigabytes of storage for probably an additional $50. It's a bummer to see that the leaks and rumors suggest that the base model will only feature 16 gigabytes of onboard storage, because that's not a lot nowadays. I was already mad at Apple for only including 16 gigabytes of onboard storage for their base model iPhone, so I could be mad at Google now, but I'm optimistic to see that it might feature a micro SD card slot for expandable storage. I think it would kind of make sense since Android Marshmallow now offers native support for micro SD cards, and it'll actually merge the micro SD card storage with the onboard storage. So fingers crossed that it will feature a micro SD card slot for expandable storage. It is expected to feature Bluetooth 4.2, of course, NFC, and Android Pay, all of which are a given. It will feature a fingerprint scanner on the back of the device underneath the protruding camera sensor, and it kind of reminds me of the Blue Peer XL, which I just received not too long ago, and it does feature a rear-facing fingerprint scanner. And I can just say that if it's anything like this fingerprint scanner, which it will be, it should work wonderfully. As for that display, it's going to feature a very manageable 5.2-inch 1080p LCD display, and it'll be powered by a Snapdragon 808 hexa-core processor with 3 gigabytes of RAM. While the Snapdragon 810 octa-core processor might outnumber the 808 processor, I'm kind of glad Google is going to include the 808 processor in the Nexus 5X, because it's just a safer option. It doesn't have a lot of the overheating issues. It just runs a lot cooler overall. It's definitely just a safer option. Now, as for that protruding camera sensor, it will be a 13 megapixel camera sensor, or 12.7 megapixel camera sensor that will be rounded up to 13 megapixels, most likely. And there will be a 5 megapixel front-facing camera sensor. And the device will launch with the updated Google Camera app, which is receiving a ton of new features and design changes to help it stay more relevant. Some of the new features include a 120 and 240 FPS slow motion mode, an HDR plus mode, a dirty lens detection feature, and a new interface that will allow you to change between the photo and the video modes simply by swiping from left to right on the screen. Now, we can't really expect the camera sensor to produce similar results to the LG G4, even though it is made by LG. It's a $400 smartphone, and so you can't expect it to compete with a flagship smartphone that costs twice as much money. I'm just really hoping that the camera sensor, the camera quality, is just acceptable, and it really should be. It doesn't have to produce image quality on par with the Note 5 or the LG G4. I mean, if it did or if it does, awesome, all the better, but realistically, it's probably going to be more comparable to the OnePlus 2 or the Moto X Pure Edition or Moto X Style, at least in terms of image quality. And those camera sensors, they produce pretty good results. As for the battery life, well, we can expect the Nexus 5X to be powered by a 2700 mAh battery. Now, that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but between the 1080p display and the battery-saving improvements of Android 6.0 Marshmallow, I'm optimistic that battery life will deliver around 4 hours of screen-on time, give or take, which will get most people through a full day of heavy or moderate to heavy usage. So yes, of course, it'll run stock Android 6.0 Marshmallow out of the box, which is great news and really the main selling point of a Nexus device. Now, we've seen a lot of $400 budget flagship smartphones, the most recent being the Moto X Pure Edition or the Moto X Style, depending on where you live. So let me know if you're planning on picking up the Nexus 5X when it becomes official, if the rumored specs turn out to be true. With the OnePlus 2 and the Moto X Pure Edition already on the market, what makes the 5X stand out to you, and what makes you more inclined to buy the Nexus 5X over the competition? I'm curious, so be sure to let me know by leaving me a comment down below. Just keep in mind that all of the features and the specs mentioned in this video are based off leaks and rumors, so anything can change, but I think we have a pretty good idea as to what we can expect to see with the LG Nexus 5X. But as always, guys, I'm BoHD from PhoneDog.com. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you right back here in the next one. See ya.